And, you know, we got started. I was on the table, face down. It was fine. Everything went fine for about the first, 10 minutes. Then this guy came in. He pushed some hot stones into my hand, first off, which I didn't ask for. So, that was odd. It's never happened before. I kind of reacted like just dropping them. They were, I was really relaxed. He basically pushed them into my hand, closed my hand around them, and I just kind of let them go. So they fell on the table. I heard them talking. I don't know what they were saying. They weren't speaking English. She left. He stayed. I thought she'd be back, and I couldn't see anything. I was face down. I'm not really sure. I kind of like went into shock. He started in with the touching. He didn't really say anything. I am pretty sure at one point when he removed the drape that I went, no, and tried to pull it back on. But he just removed it again and continued touching my lower body, genital area, from behind. After a few minutes of that, he said, turn over. I did. I was still somewhat in shock and waiting for another staff to re-enter because I thought someone might have heard me say no. As far as I know, I was just hoping she'd come back, basically. And I didn't know the place at all. So there was a lot of fear, basically, of me just, getting up and running into someone. It was dark. Massage rooms are usually kind of dim. So I turned over. He continued touching. He started again with my lower body, kind of went up, upward motions, circling motions. And he was doing those kinds of circling motions around my chest when he finally kind of just started pinching my nipple. So I went, we're done. And, got up, tried to leave. He grabbed me, held me down. He was like, not yet. Kept massaging my lower body. Again, I was in shock, frozen, scared of who else could be out there. I didn't know the place at all. I haven't been to Lakewood in years before this. So that went on for another few minutes till I went, I gotta go, repeatedly. And he actually didn't leave the room immediately, even after I said, I gotta go, he tried to stay in there. He finally left. I just grabbed my clothes and ran.
Okay. And what did you do after you left the business?
I dressed outside, went to the Taco Bell nearby and called police.
Okay, so you said you left the building nude, or did you have clothes on?
No, I think I had thrown on my coat and pants.
You just finished dressing outside?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I take notes. It's just what we're talking about, and if I have any things I want to clarify or ask questions on, it's not any secret stuff, okay? Okay. So there's, I was contacted by the prosecutor's office, the Pierce County prosecutor's office, and they had some additional questions as well. So I'll kind of touch on those in just a little bit. And so here's where I ask some of those clarifying questions that are kind of uncomfortable. So just to warn you. So you go into the massage room. Do you remember which massage room it was? Can you describe how the business is laid out?
Yeah, there's the, desk and a hall in front with a row of rooms. It's also a foot spa. So I think he may have been one of the staff who saw me enter. There were a few giving massages right in front.
Okay.
So I entered. He may have been one of the staff who saw me. He was in that area by the desk giving him chair massage, and the room was across the desk.
Okay.
I believe it was the first one, closest to the door.
Okay. Towards the end of the interview, would you be able to like draw like a sketch on the business and like which room it was?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Thank you for that. Okay. And so he brings you into the room. Was there anything unusual about, like, have you ever had massages before?
Yes.
Okay. And was there anything unusual about how he brought you into the room? And like normally they leave, you undress, you lay down, and then cover yourself with a sheet or something? Like, tell me how that happened.
It wasn't him who led me in the room, or I probably would have said no right away.
I'm sorry, it was a female. Yes.
Yeah.
So the female led you in, and so everything was pretty much normal, like I described. So you lay down, and you got fully nude?
Yes.
Okay, so fully nude, she leaves, then comes back in, and she started massaging you, and it was like a normal massage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, do you remember about how long into the massage the male came in?
I think probably 10 minutes at most.
About 10 minutes? Okay. And did he do anything else besides in the beginning, to put the stones in your hand? Do you recall what
Yeah, he pulled it off. I remember right away. I also thought that was odd, but I mean, I don't know. She was in there at the time, so it was somewhat, you know, I guess she was in there. I figured, you know, there's another staff, she'd handle it if something happened. But yeah, besides the stones, he also pulled the sheet off.
So completely exposing your body?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happened?
They talked, she left.
Okay, so he pulls the sheet off. There's some discussion. They're speaking probably Chinese or something, some Asian language. And how do you know the female left the room?
I heard it.
Okay. And then so what's the next thing that happened after the female left the room?
He starts massaging, very clearly, specifically focused on my lower body, which is not what I wanted. You're not supposed to do that. You asked the customer, and I would have told him, focus on my back. But he was very specifically massaging my lower body, and at one point he did the inner thighs, and then he very intentionally touched my genitals.
Okay. So when you're saying he massaged your lower body, are you talking about just like the area around your vagina and your buttocks? Is that what you're talking about?
And thighs.
And thighs too. So he did your legs also? Okay.
Well, not below the knee.
Okay, so above the knee and around the buttocks area, so in that area is what you're saying when you're saying lower body. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. And then and you're still face down. So as he's massaging, you said he started massaging your inner thigh, and then he touched your vagina.
Yes.
Okay. Uncomfortable question. Describe to me in detail how he touched your vagina.
He put oil. There was a lot of oil. The oil, he removed the drape. Now, I would think at this point, and I don't know, actually, I think typically it's one drape, but, again, I just don't know. There was a drape, and I can't tell if it was like a paper or a sheet or what, but, or maybe he just positioned, I don't know any of this, but he removed whatever was covering me, and I went, no, tried to pull it back on. He was mumbling. He's an older guy, I think. Again, I couldn't even get a clear look. It's dim in those rooms. Mm-hmm. He was mumbling. I said, no, tried to pull the drape back. And, I could feel it because it already tends to be, obviously, it's more sensitive down there. So you can feel it when someone is applying pressure, and I felt it.
Another uncomfortable clarifying question. Did his fingers ever go inside your vagina? Or was it, they never went inside your vagina?
No.
Okay, so just the outside of your vagina? Okay. And just so I'm getting it clear, the female was already out of the room when he pulled off the drape what was covering you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so tell me what happened when he was touching your vagina and then what happened next.
By that point, I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the place. It was totally unfamiliar. I was scared of basically even moving. I didn't know who else could be in there. I was hoping maybe she'd heard and she would, come in, but that didn't happen. After a few minutes, he went turn over, so I did, and then he continued the massage that basically, turned into him touching my nipples, pinching, literally pinching, and I tried to leave.
Okay. So, how long about do you think he was touching your vagina? Was it just an estimate?
5 seconds.
5 seconds? Okay. And did you say or do anything in that 5 seconds that he was touching that?
Well, I think he should have known because I mean, again, I don't remember, but I had already tried to pull the drape back on by then. That should have been, telling him no.
Okay. Absolutely. And so then he tells you to turn over. Did he tell you in English, or how did you
Yeah,
know?
it was English.
It was in English? Okay. And so you're still fully nude, and so you turn over onto your back, and now you're laying face up, fully nude? Okay, and then what happened next?
He actually started by massaging my face. Again, I couldn't see anything. At one point, his forearm was completely covering my face. I couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
He had me basically pinned down with his forearm over my face. I don't think this guy was like any kind of massage therapist. I don't know why she left me alone with him. He may have been like one of their staff who does the foot massages, but he did not know what he was doing at all when it came to this full body massage. I've had them before. They're not like this. He basically had me pinned down with his forearm covering my face and his other hand roaming, massaging.
Okay. When you say it was on your face, describe what kind of pressure it was.
Yeah, it was, I couldn't see, I couldn't move my head. I think I was facing sideways, really uncomfortable. I couldn't, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't move, I couldn't see anything.
Okay. So one hand, or one forearm, you said, is holding your face down, and then what is his other hand doing?
Kind of like massaging. I remember it started near my stomach and just kind of drifted upwards.
Okay. When you say drifted upwards, what does that mean?
It went to my chest. He was doing these circling motions, and then I think probably the right hand that he had me pinned down with just started pinching my nipple, my right nipple.
Right nipple? Okay. And so how long do you think it was that he massaged your stomach, and then he started massaging your bare breasts? Okay, and then he started pinching your right nipple. Tell me everything about that.
I wasn't going to let that happen because it was, besides being obviously wrong, it was painful.
Right.
So I was like, we're done. But he grabbed me, he held me down, and he continued massaging my lower body. He went, not yet, kind of went over towards the end of the table and just kept massaging my lower body. And I was in total shock by then. You don't do that at all. I was completely frozen.
Absolutely. So you say, we're done. How loud do you think you said that?
Pretty loud. She would have heard if she was at the desk.
Okay, so somebody in the waiting area or the desk area would have heard you if you said we're done, and
Yeah.
at the volume that you did? Okay. And you said it twice?
Yeah.
Okay. And so after you said we are done, you said he held you down. So am I understanding that you tried to sit up? You tried to get up?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me everything about you getting up and what happened next.
Well, he was already up at my shoulders, so it would have been easy for him to just grab me and throw me down, which is basically what he did. And I think maybe there was a couple seconds of pressure before he finally, let go and went towards the other side.
Okay. So he pinches your nipple. You said you try to sit up. You say we're done, and then he pulls you back down. Okay. Did he say anything while he was doing that?
Yeah, he went, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. And that was in English?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about how strong it was when he pushed you back down. Was it like a gentle, like, oh, not yet, we're not done, or was it like slamming you back on the table? Tell me about that.
Somewhere in between. Like I said, I think he may have been an older guy and not too built from what I saw. So, I mean, it's not like he slammed me, but it was pretty forceful, like enough so that I wasn't going to try and fight.
Okay. And so he says, not yet, and he, with some strength, pushes you back down on the table, and then you said he started back on your lower body. Tell me what he did after that on your lower body.
He just went towards that end and kind of just started massaging. This time it was below the knee, and he kind of tried to go from my knees upward again, but just after a few minutes of this, basically somewhat recovered from being in shock, I went, I gotta go.
Okay. So started at your knees, started working back up, and at that time you had regained enough composure to say, I gotta go. Okay, so tell me everything about you from that moment where you say, I gotta go. How loud was that?
Loud. Like he should have known to leave the room immediately, but he didn't.
Okay, so you say, I gotta go a couple times. How loud was that, do you think? Loud?
Loud, yeah.
Okay. And then instead of him, so tell me what you're doing as he's remaining in the room.
I'm getting up, and I didn't even want to go because I was nude and my clothes were on a chair. I didn't want to get up nude while he was in there. By this time he was at the end of the table near my head. I guess he'd gotten there. I didn't notice. I was trying to leave, and he didn't exit the room. He was just watching me.
Okay. So you get some clothes on, and he's still in the room, and then...
No. He had left by then. After a few seconds of him trying to stay in the room, he finally got it, I think, and left.
Gotcha. Okay, so you start putting on your clothes, and at some point during that, he leaves the room. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, I was still on the table when he left. I was basically refusing to get up until he left.
Okay.
I didn't want him to see me nude cross the room to get my clothes.
Gotcha. So you were nude on the table, and you say, I gotta go, and he's just standing there?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point, he leaves the room, and then you go get dressed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So you said earlier you got dressed and then left.
Yes.
So directly from the massage room out of the business, then you finished getting dressed? No? Okay.
No, they actually stopped me at the door.
Okay.
The female was there. She went, go home, and then the guy was also there. He handed me a bottle of water. They were kind of blocking the door, so I didn't leave immediately, but they handed me the bottle of water, and then I left.
Gotcha. The same female that had led you in earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so same female, and had you already paid at that point?
Yes.
So you prepaid for the massage?
Yes.
Okay. So you get mostly dressed and you're trying to leave the business, and the female and the male are there?
Yes.
And then the male, who handed you the bottle of water?
The male.
Okay. Did you take it?
Yes.
Okay. And then you left?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happened?
I ran basically after somewhat dressing, ran to Taco Bell.
Okay. And then that's where you called 911, and then our officers contacted you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you see any other employees at the business? Besides the two?
I don't know if it was the same guy who did this or a different one, because I saw one at a chair when I entered.
Okay. All right. Thank you for answering all of that. I truly appreciate it. So I will go over what the prosecutors wanted me to ask. Did you go to the hospital by chance to get a sexual assault kit performed?
No.
Okay. You already said which room, so it was while I'm there. Pardon me. All right, if you could, can you draw the, like from a bird's eye view, the business and then identify which room it occurred in? Would you be able to do that? Okay. Okay, so it's like right across. Okay. All right. Thanks for drawing that. Okay, so we've already established which room it was in. Have you ever been to that establishment before?
No.
Never? Okay. And you've never seen that guy?
No.
Okay, sorry, I'm going down the list of questions. Do you think you would be able, if I got a picture of him, would you be able to pick him out of a lineup?
God, I can try.
Okay. And we already talked about that. When you said we are done, you said it loud and loud enough that somebody would hear?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember if the walls of the massage room go all the way up, or are they like disconnected from the ceiling, like they're like cubicles almost?
Oh God, I don't know.
Okay. And we kind of went over this too. The female and the male, and possibly another male, were the ones that you saw?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then there was just a couple more, I apologize. How many massages have you had in the past?
30?
30? And have you, like, are they similar to that sort of place? So like Asian massage type places, or?
I'd say,
A mix.
I mean, they're usually like a corporate thing, like Massage Envy.
Okay, gotcha. And have you ever had an experience like that at all, where a masseuse has been inappropriate or something was weird or anything like that? Have you ever had an experience similar to that?
No.
No. And you kind of answered this one as well. So you mentioned that it was pretty clear to you that this guy was either an untrained masseuse or not a masseuse at all based on your prior history. So after 30 massages, you kind of have a good idea of what a massage looks like, at least. And so what specifically about his massage made it clear to you that he was
not enough pressure in the right places and too much pressure in the wrong places. It's my back. That's why I get massages. I always tell them, focus on my back. He wasn't at all. Totally neglected the area that I wanted massaged. It was like completely unprofessional.
Did you fill out a form? Like I know when I've got massages, they have like a form like where does it hurt or like,
no, that's another
form?
thing. No,
okay.
No forms.
Okay, and did you tell him it was your back that you wanted massaged, or
no?
Was there any communication? Okay, he just completely ignored your back, which is like, what most people get massages for, probably. Okay. Do you remember seeing if there was cameras in the business?
I don't remember that at all.
Okay. And do you have a proof or a copy of the receipt or any way that you can show that you paid for that specific date? Is there a way that